What's poppin' gang? It's your boy Pastor JB here, and we are. What's poppin' gang? It's your boy Pastor JB here, and we are here. What? With the That's That on That podcast. Listen. What's poppin' gang? It's your boy Pastor JB here. What's poppin' gang? It's your boy Pastor JB here, and we are here
once again
for the season 2 of That's That on That podcast. Hashtag TTOT podcast. Use that everywhere. Usually we don't come with this much energy, but you know what? It's the first episode of season 2. Season 1 was great. Season 1, I felt like we got some things accomplished. We got some things talked about. Definitely want to collab with a whole slew of new people and everything else like that. Be expecting that for season 2. Be expecting a bunch of new characters, new co-hosts, and new people to talk to, new conversations. And I mean, I definitely with season 2 want to get into having the fans drop in. Or once again, like I said, you guys are my supporters. I don't necessarily call you guys fans. It's like a slip up, but I definitely want to have for season 2, have people reach out. If anybody wants to be on, please let me know. Y'all know where to find me at, and then also that email will be in the description box below, so you all know. But yeah, season 2, we are here, back at it again, like a crack addict. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about breaking generational curses, of course. Now, once again, somebody call y'all. Now, I mean, 2022, I'm pretty sure everybody that's listening should know what a generational curse is, or at least today's term of breaking generational curses. But for the ones in the back, I'm going to, of course, like I always do, give you the Google definition first, and then apply it to where it's needed. But breaking generational curses, before I give y'all the definition from the Googler, let's just talk about it, just real quick. Breaking generational curses nowadays, I feel like we are, and I don't want to expand too much yet, but I feel like we are in a state of change. For my generation, and then B, really for the people in the world. But a lot of generational curses, whether you white, black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, everybody has a generational curse. So everybody's had something that their parents, ancestors, grandparents, whomever has done in the wrong, or something that could have been perfected and corrected that has not been, that you can actually make a blueprint for. I feel like, just to give it a pretense, we do it for that. And I'm gonna leave that right there. So we're gonna come in with the Google definition. And this definition is actually from the Gospel Coalition. The Gospel Coalition states the generational curse describes the cumulative effect on a person of things that their ancestors did, believed, or practiced in the past, of course. And it's also the consequences of an ancestor's actions, beliefs, and sins being passed down. Now, just to elaborate on that a little bit, pretty much, I mean, y'all know what a curse is. And apply it to generations, right? Generational curses. So we're thinking about curses that have been passed down. Pathologies that have been passed down. History. You know, history repeats itself if, you know, nobody's willing to do the change. Nobody's willing to pioneer to really, like, you know, change some shit. History is only going to repeat itself unless you learn from it. And if you don't learn from it, it's going to keep going on. And that's also, I feel like, God's way of also saying, listen, man, not on my watch. Not on my watch. But that's also God's way of saying, you know, like, my guy, nothing's going to change for you until you learn what I need you to learn, and learn from all of these experiences that you either have been through, or that your mom, dad, their mom, dad, grandparents, whomever else, ancestors from before haven't learned, unfortunately, yet. Well, they can now, but, you know, they haven't learned. This is what I need you to learn. They couldn't get it. I'm gonna need you to get it so you can come on, refresh the cycle. Because I'm pretty sure God's annoyed with having the same thing going on and on and on. Like, but He needs y'all to understand. Like, open your eyes. Like, I need you to get this. You know what I mean? Somebody has to break the chain. Generational curses. So basically, pass down history, pass down curses, pass down traditions, even. Generational curses passed on from generation to generation to generation. Now I feel like my generation, you know, I'm 23. At this point, I didn't fucked up with all of the names of the generations and shit. You know, like Generation Z. I think we're Z. Because I think, are we Z?
No.
Are we Z? No. I don't know. It's just like generational Z, X, Y. You know, LMFAO. Anyway, so look, my generation, us in the 20s and stuff, right? Us 90s babies or late 90s or whatever. In parts of our, you know, a little bit older than us generation, maybe like 5 years or so, whatever generation that is. I feel like we are more so nowadays the pioneers, and talking about modern day, the pioneers of generational curses. Now, I don't necessarily want to say it's a trend, but you know, everybody hops on D when something quote unquote hot or current or something that everybody's talking about. But of course, trends, right? Nothing wrong with them, whatever. But I feel like our generation is, you know, the pioneers. I feel like we are noticing more. We're noticing more and taking less, pretty much. Like, we're not really doing it. We can really break this down for jobs as instance. Now, granted, you know, everybody, a lot of stores and facilities are definitely hurting for some employees right now. But I think, of course, because of the panorama, Pandora's box that nobody asked for, nobody fucking opened. I'm pretty sure, of course, that is an effect and unemployment and all the other stuff people see. I still see people seeing they work, especially us young people, because a lot of these jobs, they want to just work you to the goddamn bone, and then they say, "Hey, Jimmy, hey guy, need this carrot?" Or, "Hey, Bobby, hey buddy, let me just $5 check. Oh, I'll buy you some pizza for lunch." What? Anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's basically dangling a carrot in front of a horse. You know, it's the runaround. They want to treat you like shit, and then they expect you to give them sugar. They want to treat you like shit, and they expect you to grow their business. And I think a lot of people my age and younger, and even, you know, older people too, they're starting to realize, like, shit, first of all, there's too much money out here. I've been getting to them. Trying to get to the money, but we ain't talking about me right now. There's too many people out here, and there's too many opportunities out here for people to be entrepreneurs, but there's too many money moves out here for people to be sitting around on some bullshit for a job that will replace them in 2.5 seconds. I mean, mines can't replace me because I'm one of a kind just like mine, and that's just the way the fuck it is. But once again, we're not talking about me. Can't even say what I want to say yet. Anyway, so as I'm saying, like, people are noticing their worth. People don't really want to work or take as much. And granted, some people are lazy, but we're not talking about that either. We're talking about people that are not taking these jobs bullshit. Some people don't want to be working 25 fucking hours a day, and it's not even 25 hours in a day. Nobody want to have to work all day making 10, 15, 16 shit, even $18 an hour, because nowadays that's not livable wages. But that's a whole nother podcast episode for a whole nother day. Nobody wants it. They're not taking what our people took, or our parents and their parents took. Nah, sit down with an old person, especially if they black and they worked back in the day and they wasn't on that shit. Sit down with them and let them talk to you about their work experience and how they used to work and how do they feel about today's era of workers. Like, they're gonna let you know, oh, we did this, we did that, and no, power to them. They had to do what they had to do to take care of their parents, as do we, or take care of their people, as do we all nowadays do. But I mean, unfortunately, I feel like that they just didn't fully know their full worth And sometimes also they didn't even have those opportunities to be given to them to really be like, fuck y'all niggas, I'm out. Granted, we're afforded more nowadays, so, we're trying to break barriers for everybody after us and for the people that came before us that couldn't do it all the way. You know what I'm saying? Generational curses. Now, I promise this isn't a poem. I mean, you can kind of take it as a poem, but, spoken word. We are the ones that I feel like that are trying to correct the wrongs and the mistakes of our parents and ancestors and all of the people that came before us, our peers, not even just our families, it's our peers. Like people, artists, think about the history of whomever came before them, think about painters, yada yada the broad perspective. Just for our peers, we're trying to, and not everybody, because sometimes people are just selfish, and it's okay to be selfish. They say selfish people live longer. But sometimes people just do it for them, and I'm alright. That's alright too. If you're just doing it for you, do it like it should be day. But whatever. We're talking about us pioneers out here, us swimmers. It's out here trying to break these walls down. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like we're trying to, we're more so willing to stand on the front lines to spark change and do what we need to do and do what we want to see done than a lot of our superiors back then. I don't want to speak out of term here because I don't want people to feel like I'm just saying, motherfuckers back then ain't do shit. Because if they didn't, we wouldn't be here. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about family. I'm talking about my experience. I'm talking about the general people's experience. But take it how you want it. I feel like the benefit to us actually wanting to be more active and break curses and actually do more in life and want more out of life is because we have more accessibility to our history. We have more accessibility to knowledge. We have more. It's easier to weave through life nowadays. And I ain't saying life is easy. Well, it's easier to weave through life with more information than to weave through life with no information, right? So I feel like with all of, technology, broader history, getting the crackdown on the bullshit that they was teaching us in schools, because all of that shit's not real. And I ain't saying everything, but a lot of that shit is definitely fabricated. And we want to talk about the school systems, but we don't. We're talking about generational curses. But I feel like, we have a visual representation now. We have a blueprint pretty much of what history was, what it can be, what should we do, what shouldn't we do, what to do and what to not do. You know what I'm saying? Or what can be, or we can still do that, but we gotta tweak it a little bit to get it and freaking finesse it how we needed to get it so we can do what we need to do with it. Now I know that sounds big as shit. Stay with me. Generational curses. I feel like with the more accessibility to knowledge, you get to notice more. Pretty much everything wrapped in an eggshell. Everything you get to notice more. And what they say, when you know better, you do better. You better have my money. All my money. Now I feel like also, and I'm just talking about my immediate family, and this is no shots, no shade. Nobody. Moment of silence for everybody that will not listen. I'm telling you, I don't want nobody to just be on bullshit, but I want you to hear me. And I'm not, once again, no shots, no shade.
Hear me good and hear me well.
For my immediate family,
listen up, America.
I feel like just how far I've come in life, and sometimes I know I'm not where I want to truly be yet. And I'm 23, I got some time. Now, I ain't saying that to procrastinate, just saying, I still got life to live. I feel like I'm one of the main pioneers, or I'm the fucking pioneer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like looking at, I was just, even as a kid, I was always the type of person that was always observant, and I always knew what I wanted, and I always knew what I didn't want. Now, don't ask me about a gift or some food in the moment, because it might take me a while because I'm specific, but
Very much so, yes.
just like I like. And I've always had a broad imagination. I've always been an artist too, so that could contribute to that, but we're talking more about me later on in the season. I feel like I'm one of the ones that have seen what I didn't want. I feel like I was kind of like backwards raised, like, because I kind of wasn't raised, but I had to raise myself, you know what I mean? So like, I had great examples on what not to do and who not to be and who not to be around, pretty much, right? So that's what kind of, triggered in my mind. It's like, I don't want this. I don't like that. I don't really want this for my life. I don't want to have to worry about that. I'm not trying to be too specific because y'all need to mind your full business. But
I was trying to be where it was at.
that's how I kind of like, came to the realization that, damn, God maybe is just like, nigga, you the one. You the one. When nigga say, you the boss, man. No, I'm just saying, but God just really went, nigga, you the one. I came to that conclusion really just reflecting on my life. I've always reflected. I like to analyze. I like to problem solve. I always like to go back, like, what could I do different? What could I have done better? What could have been a better outcome? But I know I talk too much, but mind your business. Generational curses. So I feel like I am the one to really do that. I feel like I have been the first, and I'm not the oldest, and I'm not the youngest no more. Shout out to my little big-headed brother, Baboon. And that's neither on my dad's side or my mom's side, but that's whatever. So I feel like I've not necessarily surpassed people, but because I'm not looking at it that way, but I've done a lot of things that they couldn't have done or have done. And I want to show that it can be done, pretty much. Especially for all my siblings, whether my mom's side or my dad's side, younger or older, or their kids and everybody else. When, like, you don't have to stop in the middle. Shit, you don't have to stop at the beginning, because you stopping at the beginning, you was a pussy ass bitch anyway. But you can't talk to kids like that. But you know what I mean. But like, you can't really stop then. You gotta really just like keep going and just persevere and try to get what you really want. I'll be getting to the money. Everybody mad. Nah, but seriously though. So I mean, being that I feel like I'm pioneer of trying to break generational curses, I'm trying to get rich. The fuck, we have not been rich yet. Now we have some wealthy people in my family, but they're not in my immediate family. Shout out to y'all. When I get down there, just cash at me $50. That's what I'm asking for. 50. That's not too much, It's a process sometimes, and this is what I really wanted to make this episode really about. I didn't really want to be like real long, but that's what I really wanted to make the episode. It's a process of being a pioneer, and I mean we can come up with a different name because that shit sound old as fuck. But we really like y'all, my people, JB Gang. Y'all hit me up. What are we gonna call ourselves? Because the pioneers of breaking generational curses is fucking nerdy. But listen, I really wanted to just really make this episode because I want to just explore the process and go through the process, because I know I'm not the only person to go through the same shit. Because nobody ever prepares you for this. Nobody, well, I mean, but God, but nobody's really like, hey buddy, you're gonna be a pioneer, and I'm gonna need you to read this Breaking Generational Curses for Dummies book from Barnes & Noble, because you're gonna need to know this, that, and that. Nobody really, and it's more so courses of life. Nobody really goes into detail. At least for me, I've never really had anybody to go into full detail of life, the woes, the ups, the downs. Like, of course, they give you the Clip Notes version of, oh, hey, yeah, you're gonna do with this, that, have some good times, some bad times. I'm like, that's too general. I need specifics. Like, the Virgo brain in me needs to know every fucking thing.
We likes to plan.
Everything. I mean, I know that's a me problem. Not damn sure it's a me problem. Maybe I need to. Anybody got coupons on therapy? Because I'm a little tapped right now, but tap me in. Because Ayanna don't make her shows no more. And Dr. Phil, what is that on like channel like 6 or something? I don't have cable because I don't really watch TV, but whatever. Anyway, I'm getting on track. Going through the process of breaking generational curses. Like, nobody wants to tell you how fucking hard it is actually when you're sitting in the process. And I mean, everybody's level of hard is different. But we can all come to a common general ground of, listen, some shit is just, yeah. In the moment, it's like, yeah, like, nah, it ain't it. This ain't that, and that ain't this. We don't want it. And it's stressful as shit. Sometimes, I mean, I guess it'd be more beneficial when you have like a village, because I feel alone a lot of times. And not lonely, don't ever get it fucked up. But sometimes, you know, when you really just feel like, damn, you really only got yourself. I got a mom, I got a dad, but I'm a grown ass man. I can't be like, hey, everybody, hey, you know what I mean? So I really feel like I am, well, sometimes in the process, like, do y'all feel the same way sometimes? Or you feel like you can't really turn to nobody? The only thing you really do is have a few handful of people to vent to, but venting ain't really doing shit. You know what I mean? It's not soluting the solution. I made that up, but stay on track. So I just feel like sometimes when you feel like you just backed into a corner, because that's what I've been experiencing going through this sometimes. Like, sometimes you just feel like you just backed in the corner and you just want to swing. You know what I mean? Like, and let's also talk about how stressful it is sometimes when you get to a certain age where you have to raise your own fucking parents. Now, everybody knows this. If you have older parents, and I know sometimes a lot of y'all moms was hot in the ass at 14. But we're not talking about y'all. But seriously though, like, you know, you get to a certain age where you feel like, damn, you gotta raise your parents. I feel like I'm there at this fucking age, and I'm supposed to be out here, you know, fighting and bopping and doing what I want to do. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how, you know, I just feel like I don't need to be this stressed about grown ass adults. But I mean, it's the only payback you have to do because, of course, I mean, for the, you know, parents. You want to give them back what they gave you. So that is, I didn't ask, and this is the reason why I don't have kids at the moment, because I didn't ask for them yet. And I'm really just not trying to be this shit, trying to break shit and get everybody up out the mud and trying to, you know, push it on my back and have responsibilities of everybody else. But I can't, like, let me do that when I get the money. I don't want to have to raise my parents now. Like, what the fuck you thought this was? Maybe you're supposed to be watching my kid. Anyway, back to the conversation. Generational curses. I feel like because I am the responsible one, also too, once again, I'm not the oldest, but I'm not the youngest. I'm the responsible one. I'm speaking from my mom's side. To me, my dad's a little bit of a... We're not even gonna go into my dad, because that's my nigga for real, but we don't... we're not talking about the siblings on my dad's side, because we wasn't raised together. I'm talking about my immediate family right now, right? So, I've been knew that I was responsible, and even growing up, like... Somebody got to step out. Oh, we need you to watch or take care of or make sure. Like, I always was the nigga with the plan. Although, unless they have my sister watching this, but whatever. Me being the responsible one then and even now, that's what made me come to the realization even more. And then also talking to God once again, can help me come to the conversation. It got me to come to the realization of, damn, like, okay, I gotta be the one if nobody else is willing to do it. And I'm not saying nobody else is willing to do it, but at this very moment, it doesn't look like or feel like anybody else is willing to do it. So, feeling like you're the responsible one, feeling like, damn, if you don't do it, who else is gonna really do it? And you don't want to really depend on anybody else because you can't really depend on anybody else. And I don't like to depend on anybody else because when you let me down, I get pissed. Like, I pass mad. I get pissed, and that's an issue. But we're not talking about me once again. Salty boy vibes. also while going through like the woes of A, life, and then B, trying to be so responsible and actually be an adult, because we can really cross over into trying to be an adult and trying to do this, or at least noticing this shit, because a lot of people don't know that they're actually breaking generational curses, or they're in the position to while they're doing it, until they, you know, of course, reflect back. Now, I'm not saying everybody, but there's some people that don't know until they do it, and I feel like sometimes that's the best way. And I'm only saying the best way from the outside looking in, because sometimes when you don't notice shit, you're not worrying about shit, but you're still getting it done. And I feel like sometimes you're not worrying about shit, that's what takes the stress away. And I feel like as the past like couple months, I've been too stressed. Like, I've been having great days, but stress, a big bitch. And anybody asks me So let me get to the why, just to try to sum everything up, because I don't want this one to get me too long. Get into the why of, let me say why what? Why, A, why do you want to be bothered with breaking a generational curse? 1. B, why do you think that you are the one to break a generational curse? 2. And then C, it's like, what's the point? Now, I can't really speak for everybody else. I can only speak for me and what I have seen with peers and or groups. But I feel like, I mean, one, and not everybody's religious or spiritual, but I feel like it's God's will and God's purpose. I feel like God is really like moving, although it's a lot of devil activity going on on this earth right now. Energy and spiritual wars are, but we're not talking about that. I feel like it's God's, it's God's way. Like, listen, we about to get on up. Change is coming. Granted, we don't know when. It's slowly approaching, but it's coming. I feel like, I mean, you're God's servant, so why would we not want to do what God says? You gotta obey God's orders, right? I mean, at least if you want to make it. Not everybody wants to make it to the promise. We're not getting to that. But I get it. But I understand. But still, even in general, just like, if you don't want to do it for God, do it for your ancestors. Do it for the people that come before you and the people that's going to be after you. If you care that much. I mean, you can be a selfish person. Once again, selfish people live longer. So I ain't mad at you. Be truthful with what you want to do. I get it. But I feel like, for me, it's my purpose. I feel like, and I'm just talking for my family and my immediate, nobody has done what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to get out of and switch and flick before. So if nobody has done it before, somebody's gonna have to do it. Eventually somebody gotta go get that box, take that crown out and place it on the top of their head. And I mean, I've always been king material, so I'm coming for it. And that's just that on that no podcast. For me, and I'm really end it like right here. I'm gonna just say it like this. I feel like our generation, or my generation, and the generation before us, and just in general, the overall now way of the world, and black people in general, and POC, BIPOC, whatever, we've seen the opportunities that we can do. We've seen opportunities that we could have done. Well, I mean, shit, I honestly believe we really can surpass and do anything. But we're seeing that a lot can be done, and a lot has not been done, or a lot has been blocked from getting done. But we saying, nah nigga, back that shit up. We gonna do what the fuck needs to be done so we can get to the money. Everybody mad. Nah, but I'm really gonna leave it right here. We owe it to our ancestors if we can't give them nothing the fuck else. Everything that they have done, fought for, been through, and pushed through, we owe it to them. And that's just that simple. I'm JB. Y'all know where to find me at. That's That on That Podcast everywhere. That's That on That PC Instagram. That's that TTOT Podcast 9 on Twitter. That's That on That TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm signing off and I'm out.